Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
Get that thing to stop, huh?
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle.
Today, we're gonna have a talk about the Bumblebee Striker set. I say talk instead of reviewing because though I will give you my opinion on the toys themselves, this will be more about the, existence of this set and why I find it strange.
Okay, let's take a look at the figures first.
Bumblebee looks good. It's a good toy. There's good articulation, good detailing, no complaints there. He does have weird looking kibble, that's the roll bar, though that is removable.
Don't ask me about the transformation, as I really don't like complex transformations.
As for Stalker, it's probably my favorite Stalker figure. It's a great homage to the original, and unlike that one, I'm not worried about breaking pieces off him if I look at him funny. Yeah, that's what you get when a toy is 40 years old.
No complaints there.
I can't end the toy talk itself without comparing Bumblebee to the other crossover toy currently out there, his tank Megatron. Apart from transforming into G.I.Joe vehicles, they have one other thing in common that's a bit weird. In robot mode, they're both designed to give their drivers a piggyback ride. For the Baroness, this is easy, as she's in a comfortable, cozy turret. But poor Stalker has to hang on for dear life if Bumblebee decides to go for a light jog. Between the two, I think I prefer Megatron, though I am of course biased because the Hiss is my favorite vehicle.
Anyway, that's enough about the actual toys.
My real questions with this set are, why Bumblebee? Why the Striker? Why Stalker? And why this particular combination?
Let's start with the first question.
Why Bumblebee? Well, from Hasbro's perspective, that's easy to answer. Bee is one of the most well-known and beloved Transformers characters out there. He's arguably the character you could identify the most with in the movies, because I sure couldn't identify with Shia LaBeouf.
I don't think even Shia LaBeouf can relate to Shia LaBeouf.
He got his own movie, the best Transformers movie in years by the way, and his own toy line. So, from a marketing's perspective, I can see why he's in this set.
Doesn't really make sense from any other perspective though.
Okay, when you think Bumblebee, the Transformer I mean, what springs to mind? A small yellow robot, right? Now sure, they retained some yellow in this design, but he's mostly green. And he sure as hell isn't small. This guy should not be the same size as Megatron.
You know what color scheme would have worked?
Tiger Force. That's yellow enough, and there's never been a Tiger Force Striker. Though that would have meant losing the Striker color scheme. Same if they would replace Bumblebee with, say, Beachcomber. You know, the guy that actually transformed into a dune buggy. You'd also lose the iconic color scheme.
Is it iconic though? That brings me to my next point.
Why the Striker? Don't get me wrong, it's a cool vehicle, and I'll just remind you, I like both toys in this set, but is it iconic? I'd argue no, not really. Then again, I don't consider many G.I. Joe vehicles iconic except the Sky Striker. Cobra, yeah, the Joes, less so. Damn, imagine the Sky Striker as a Transformer.
That thing would cost so much money.
Anyway, my point is that while the Hiss is absolutely my first choice to turn into a Transformer, the Striker really isn't. If we're going by similar size, my choice would have been the Vamp. It would have had less kibble at least. And it should have transformed into Hound. Okay, so that character is fairly obscure, compared to Bumblebee anyway, but he would have been a better fit as he turned into a military jeep. This brings me to the last toy and character, Stalker. And my last question, why Stalker? Hey, like I said, this is my favorite Stalker figure right now, but why pick this character? I mean, the Striker has a driver, Crankcase, and don't tell me they couldn't use him because he died in the comics.
As he apparently got better and got a toy in the non-O-Ring classic line.
Okay, so maybe Crankcase isn't that well known, but if they wanted star power, why not Scarlet? That would have kept the theme going with the Baroness in the Hiss pack.
Having said all that, I'm still happy with what we got.
I like this set. I just think it would have been better with completely different characters. And a different vehicle mode, if any of that makes sense to you. One last thing, something I didn't mention when I talked about the other sets. I really love the box art for these mashup sets. It really is Hasbro's best work in years for that aspect.
Huh, I said something nice about Hasbro. I keep expecting the sky to fall. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
Get that thing to stop, huh?
Okay, so Megatron is actually quite a bit bigger than Bumblebee, something I didn't really notice before because I haven't had them in the same room. So that was my bad.